At the end of the Cold War, the world was left with an inheritance of titans. For decades, the United States Navy had built and maintained a fleet of Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines, or SSBNs. These were not ships. They were mobile, undersea nations, the largest submarines ever built by the West. Each one carried 24 Trident nuclear missiles, a payload so devastating it could end civilization in under 30 minutes. They were the ultimate guarantors of deterrence, the silent, invisible guardians of a fragile peace. Their existence a promise of mutually assured destruction. But as the Soviet Union collapsed, the nature of war itself transformed. The single existential threat of a global thermonuclear exchange was replaced by 1,000 smaller, more complex dangers, regional conflicts, failed states, the rise of non-state terrorism, and the need for surgical military intervention. The world no longer needed more apocalyptic swords. Arms control treaties like START Issue mandated a reduction in the number of deployed strategic nuclear warheads. This created a profound and expensive problem. What do you do with the Titans? What is the purpose of a doomsday weapon in an age of precision warfare? The Navy was facing the very real prospect of retiring some of its most powerful, stealthy, and expensive assets. A colossal waste of potential in a world that demanded new capabilities. The new battlefield was defined by a paradox: the need for overwhelming force delivered with pinpoint accuracy. Often from a completely unseen direction, Carrier Strike Group, for all its immense power, is a very visible statement. Its arrival in a region is a major political signal, one that can escalate tensions before a single shot is fired. At the same time, America's elite special operations forces, like the Navy SEALs, required a clandestine way to approach hostile shores, to remain on station for weeks or months, gathering intelligence and preparing for action, completely undetected. Existing Los Angeles and Virginia-class attack submarines were masters of stealth, but they were hunters, designed to kill other ships and submarines. They could carry a small number of Tomahawk cruise missiles and a limited contingent of special forces, but they could not deliver the kind of overwhelming conventional firepower needed to shape the opening hours of a conflict. Nor could they serve as a dedicated long-term mothership for a large special operations team. There was a critical capability gap. The Navy needed an arsenal that could appear out of nowhere, strike hundreds of targets with precision, and then vanish. It needed a ghost, a silent spear, and it had 4 of them rusting away, slated for the scrapyard. The solution was one of the most brilliant and audacious acts of military transformation in modern history. Instead of scrapping the oldest Ohio-class submarines, the Navy would give them a new life, a new brain, and a new set of teeth. This was the birth of the SSGN, the guided missile submarine, and one of the first to undergo this metamorphosis was the USS Michigan, SSGN 727. She entered the shipyard as a sentinel of the Cold War, and she would emerge as the archetype of a 21st century predator. The conversion was a masterpiece of engineering. 22 of her 24 massive Trident missile tubes, each large enough to hold an intercontinental ballistic missile, were retrofitted. Inside each tube, engineers installed a multiple all-up round canister. Each of these canisters was a revolver, designed to hold 7 BGM-109 Tomahawk cruise missiles. With a stroke of genius, the Michigan's payload was transformed. The 24 apocalyptic nuclear missiles were gone. In their place was an unseen arsenal of 154 conventional, precision-guided Tomahawk missiles. This single, silent submarine now carried more conventional land attack firepower than an entire surface battle group. But the transformation didn't stop there. The remaining 2 Trident tubes, tubes 1 and 2, were permanently converted into lockout chambers, allowing Navy SEALs and other special forces to exit and enter the submarine while submerged. The Michigan was modified to carry a dry deck shelter, a removable module that acts as an underwater garage for a SEAL delivery vehicle, allowing special operators to travel from the submarine to their target, completely undetected. The Missile Control Center was replaced by a Battle Management Center, and the crew quarters were reconfigured to accommodate up to 66 Special Operations personnel for extended missions. The USS Michigan was reborn. She was no longer a weapon of mass destruction, but a weapon of mass precision, the silent hammer of American undersea power. The proof of this revolutionary concept would be written in the Michigan's deployments. She, along with her three sister SSGNs, the Ohio, Florida, and Georgia, were forward deployed to key strategic locations, with Michigan taking up her post in the Pacific, operating out of Guam. This immediately changed the strategic calculus in the region. An unseen, undetectable platform, carrying a massive conventional arsenal and a contingent of special forces, was now permanently on patrol in the world's most dynamic theater. The USS Michigan became the ultimate first day of the war asset. Her mission was to be the silent spear, the first to arrive, the first to strike. In any potential conflict, she could slip through the most advanced enemy defenses and from an unexpected direction, unleash a devastating volley of Tomahawk missiles, blinding enemy sensors, destroying air defenses, and clearing the way for carrier strike groups and other forces to follow. She participated in major international exercises like RIMPAC and Talisman Sabre, demonstrating her unique ability to seamlessly integrate with both Special Operations Forces and the conventional fleet, practicing the complex art of undersea warfare in a new age. Her power was most vividly demonstrated, not in combat, but as an instrument of deterrence. In April 2017, during a period of extreme tension with North Korea, the USS Michigan made a highly publicized port call in Busan, South Korea. The arrival of an Ohio-class submarine in a foreign port is an exceedingly rare event. The message was unmistakable and aimed squarely at Pyongyang. We are here. You do not see us, but we are always here. The silent, invisible spear had briefly made itself visible, a chilling reminder of the overwhelming power that lurked just beneath the waves. This single act of strategic communication had a more profound effect than weeks of diplomatic maneuvering. It was the proof of the SSGN's value as a unique tool of national power. The legacy of the USS Michigan is the legacy of the entire SSGN program. These four ships, the Ohio, Michigan, Florida, and Georgia, created a strategic capability that exists nowhere else in the world. They are the ultimate low-visibility, high-impact asset. They can remain submerged and on station for months at a time, their nuclear reactors providing virtually unlimited endurance. They provide the National Command Authority with a range of options that were previously unimaginable. From clandestine intelligence gathering and special forces insertion to a massive, non-nuclear decapitation strike, they represent a brilliant act of military transformation, a testament to the visionaries who saw a new purpose for a Cold War Titan. By choosing to convert these submarines